dragonfly knows that it can move in any direction it chooses as long as each and every one of its wings are in balance and working in harmony. If our elements aren't in balance, we're going to have trouble taking flight. Hi everybody, I am Dr. Martha Reed and I'm so excited to be here today, and I hope you all are too. I am going to be talking today with you guys about a program that I've created called the Dragonfly Effect. The Dragonfly Effect is a program that is designed to help a person ignite their flight, balance their life. It's a spiritual makeover, and I'm going to get into more of that later, but right now I want to tell you a little bit about me. I am a metaphysician, right? And I'm also a spiritual homeopath. Now I have lots of tools in my shed, lots of things that I can use to help people along their journey. Just recently, somebody said to me, you know what she is? She is a weightlifter, a bodybuilder, and a personal trainer. And I thought, wow, where's that coming from? Do you think I am out like going to the gym working with people that are playing with dumbbells? No. So what we decided is I lift mental weights, emotional weights, address your physical weights, and your spiritual weights as well. So am I a weightlifter, personal trainer? Maybe. Maybe we'll call me a subconscious mind trainer. I don't know. One time I was asked, if you could change one thing in the world, if there was one thing that you could do, what would it be? And of course I went to world hunger, child abuse, you know, whatever it is. I know that I would never be one to be anti anything, so what would I stand for? And that is when it dawned on me that if I could potentially raise the vibration of the world, of myself, internally and externally, just 1 degree, how many things would naturally fall into place? So in life, things start out with us, right? So if we could all do that, in my mind, just me alone, if I could just do that, the world would be a better place. I don't need to do anything else except show up, be in my best form, be in my best self, in my best vibration. The dragonfly scientifically is said that it can't fly. It's impossible. You try to mimic it. You see the helicopters. But a dragonfly can fly in 6 directions, at least 6 directions. The dragonfly effect is based on the same principle. Although the dragonfly, science says it can't fly or do what it does, it does. If we look at life in elements like the 4 wings, and we say one is working with our mental aspects, emotional, physical, and spiritual. If all of the wings of the dragonfly are working in perfect harmony and within perfect balance, then it can fly in any direction it wants, right? Even though scientifically it says it's not so. But in reality, if one of those wings is just slightly out of balance, what's going to happen? The dragonfly is going to try to go right, and it might be going left, right? It has a dream to go here or a desire, and it can't, no matter how hard it tries, because what's on its back is keeping it from going where it wants. It's visualizing, it's seeing, it's aiming, but yet it still has struggle to get where it wants to go. Imagine now, one of those wings is broken. An out of balance wing, slightly injured or out of calibration, will get where it wants, not without struggle, but eventually. But if one is broken, it's going to literally spin in circles, going nowhere. No matter how hard it tries, it's not going to be possible. One of them is missing. It may even just lay down and die, right? So in life, if we are not balanced mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, we too are either not going to get where we want to go. It's going to be impossible, if at all, right? Slight imbalance. Maybe spiritually you're not where you want to be. You're still going to go somewhere. But if you're thinking that there's something completely wrong, missing, or out of balance in your life, most likely there's an element, there's most likely one of your wings that are either weaker, missing, or being unaddressed. So, with a raise of hands, how many of you guys have heard about or understand what an undercurrent is? Right? Okay, so when I said undercurrent, how many of you, your first response was to think about the ocean or a river, the under thing, right? Okay. How many of you, when I said undercurrent, your first thought went to that still silence of a room, right? When you walk in and you're knowing something's amiss, something's up, something's in the air, something's going on, right? That's an undercurrent too, right? Because there's an energy presence that can't be denied, but yet you have no idea what it is. Well, that's the undercurrent that I want to talk to you guys about today. Our underlying undercurrent. We are water beings, right? What do they say, 75% water or something crazy like that? As water beings, we have our own current. We are also energy beings, right? We all have a vibration within us. Our structure, our being is dense, solid, hard, right? So knowing that, can we all agree that we were not born today and that we all have a past? Okay, so knowing that we weren't born today, we have a past with lots of memories and lots of feelings, then we also know that we have a vibration of our entire life that is accumulating and making up and becoming who we are today. So that undercurrent. Some people's undercurrent, what lies beneath, we might call it the inner mind, the inner voice. We might call it the subconscious mind. But we know that it's not our conscious awareness, because conscious awareness says, I'm sitting right here, I'm talking to you, I see you physically, but right now what's not being said is what's going on in your mind. What are you hearing, right, from what I'm saying? Whatever you're hearing or what's running through your mind, that subconscious, that inner voice, that inner mind, is a direct reflection of what every memory, every learning you've ever had, trying to figure out what's consciously going on out here and present. So, we all believe that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, right? So one of the things that I believe is everything in life is either working for you, it's working against you, or it is neutral. So we all agreed that we have a past, and we all agree that we weren't born today. So we know that we have an accumulation of emotions, we have an accumulation of past experiences, happy, sad, fun, not so fun. We are a whole ball of everything we've ever been through, good, bad, or indifferent, that's making up who we are today. We have our own internal undercurrents. And those undercurrents are either going to be working for you, or they're going to be working against you, or they're going to be neutral. So if you were to think about your life just today, and you think to yourself, how is my health? Am I financially where I want to be? Is my relationship status ideal? Do I feel good about me? When you think about that in your life right now, if you answered is not exactly a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being ideal, something is telling you that something is going on underneath, okay? The good thing is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't have to become victims of our past. We are products of it, that is for sure. But we've all heard about the power of intention, the law of attraction, and we talk about dreaming things into being. What we put out, what we think about, we bring about, right? We've heard all of this, but yet we sit there and struggle over and over, and we're like, why is it not coming? Dang it, I've been manifesting this for like 20 minutes. Where is it? Right? We do this. But that's because we don't realize that our spirit is light and it's fast. And it can, in dream time, wherever, we can do whatever we choose in the light. But when we're in our dense physical vehicles, it's slow. It's like molasses, okay? It doesn't move very fast, right? So if we're physically ill, it's not going to just be instantly resolved. Spiritually, you can resolve it instantly. I'm well. You decide, it's done. Then what happens is it takes a little while for our bodies to catch up to our spirit. Because we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, but we forget that we have to have the physical experience. So this whole energy is going on, and then we give up. We lose faith. We say it's not going to happen. Even 2 years from now, we're going to give up. Not here, right? But if we are a product today of our past, everything that you do today will be your past. So who are you going to choose to be? But you have to have the faith that what you're doing today, the vibration that you're at, is the very thing who's going to make up the you tomorrow. Because the you today is the very you that you created yesterday and the day before and the day before. So today, we can live back here where we were, who we were, what we went through, what we did. Some call that victim mentality. Me, I call it a product of your past that you're recreating and recreating and recreating, right? So if you were to think to yourself today, you had the ideal health, how would you feel? In order to have what you want, you have to create the vibration of it. How many people feel like they've been loved in their life? Okay? So it's not in you. Right? So if you're not calling it in or it's not being attracted to you, you're just simply not tapping in to that undercurrent that lies within. If there's something missing, you're tapping into that void. Your focus is on your void or lack or pain. We want to focus on that which we desire. I once said, if your thoughts had legs, imagine this, we have a thought, it has legs. Here it goes. It's going to run out and get you everything you think about, and it's going to bring it back for sure, without doubt. What would you think about? It surely isn't going to be 2 years ago, yesterday, 5 minutes ago. It's going to be, how do I get to my ideal state? If I knew without doubt, complete certainty, what would you think about? We talk about, you hear about vision boards, right? This is how vision boards work, okay? But let's go back to the undercurrent, right? It is a vibration. Good, bad, or indifferent. Working for you, working against you, or doing nothing. I want to talk a little bit about weight loss here for a minute. You think about people eating responses. They eat for emotional reasons. Some people are sad and they grab the ice cream, right? Some people are sad and they can't eat a bite. So you have two different extremes going on here, right? What about the people who are so excited, so happy, oh, their stomach's nervous and they can't eat a bite? One feels very bad and one feeling feels really good, but yet it's still creating the same response. What about the person who is so happy they're with family, like bring the food, you think of the Italian family or the Greek wedding and everybody brings the food. The whole day is based off of the energy of food. Let's make dessert. Let's get the full meal. We got to have 22 courses. So you begin to associate food with joy. Now, come to these two people when it comes to weight loss. If I tell one person you're going to go on a diet, you're going to eat healthy, you're going to clean yourself up, the first thing that their undercurrent, their inner being goes to is, I am not going to lose no weight. Why? because I am not going back and dealing with all of those times that I couldn't eat, all of the stress. I'm not going there. And they can't lose the weight, and they don't understand why, because they're not making the vibrational connection. Now the other person who has eaten for joy and family, and this is what we do, we cater and we pacify ourselves and console ourselves. Okay, you ask them and they're going to be going, no, what do I do? I went to my family's and I couldn't eat anything, and I felt so terrible because I was deprived. I was no joy. It's terrible, right? Because they're associating their eating with that. And they're associating with this. But really, what do we need to associate eating with? Your health. We don't even eat for hunger. We eat for nourishment. We got to nourish our soul over here, the happy person, where they're nourishing themselves over here to console or comfort, whatever it is. There is a feeling associated with eating. Our thoughts are powerful, and they create an environment that either works for us or works against us in any situation, right? And it's about that undercurrent, that underlying feeling about energy. So back to energy beings. How many people do you really know that every day they tell you something's wrong with them? Something hurts, you could tell they're down, you walk in, there's something going on. The vibration is way off. Well, because we are energy beings, I know this to be true for me, and I would imagine this is true for the majority of the people. How many people have a cell phone? How about you have a wireless something? iPad, you name it, right? My little remote. All of this is electronic stuff, right? Radio signals. How many people listen to a radio? Imagine this. You get a phone that rings. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a call from Australia. I don't know anybody in Australia, but maybe it's that lottery ticket or that drawing I invested in. I'm going to answer it. Hello? You hear screaming on the other line. Somebody is telling you off. They're calling you every name in the book. They're just going off. Okay, now here you are, looking at you don't know who this is, but yet you feel that energy. You feel anger. You're getting mad too. Who are you to be going off on me? The vibration of this person in Australia through the sound, through this phone and into you is creating an emotional response. It's creating a vibration of anger or frustration, irritation, whatever it is, but it's still a vibration, right? So this person, how the heck did they get through the airwaves, through the towers or whatever those things and shuttle spacing things flying around do, throwing signals, okay? What if right now, here you are, this dense being, physically, here, right now, there are thousands of conversations going through you. You've got this guy's attitude, you have who knows her thoughts, your thoughts, mine. All of this is in the air. There's radio waves and signals that are going through all of us right now, everywhere. You don't think that it's true? Okay, don't do it to your ear, but if you put a light on one hand and over here, you're going to see a light come through. So we know that although we feel solid and we feel dense, we're actually light beings. You can see through us. You can penetrate us. You can feel the vibration of a speaker through the floor. Everything travels. We were just talking yesterday, some friends and I, about lightning and how lightning travels and how it can strike over here. And yet the trailing effects can do things. This stuff is going on all around us. Now, why is it you're not sitting here thinking you're having a gazillion voices in your head? I mean, some of us do actually have voices going on in our head, but we can tune them out, okay? So what if the potential of frequency, like a radio, you take that dial and you adjust it And as you do, you tune in. Okay, we don't really tune so much anymore like the old-time radios, but you're tuning into a frequency to be able to hear it. If you're an intuitive and you talk to your guides, you tune into this frequency. If you have the ability to raise your vibration even higher, you're going to go into the angelic realm and on up. Okay? It's a matter of tuning in. Okay? So what I'm inviting you guys to do today, learning this program, is to learn how to tune into you. Because I don't care about all the radio stuff that's going on, all the voices that are happening. What I care about is that your internal vibration becomes such a match to your desires that no more can the things that used to work against you do that. I want everything in your past to either become neutral or to begin to work for you. When I was 28 years old, I was going along with life in a job that I thought I wanted. I was doing what I thought I was expected to do, I suppose, in corporate world. Got a degree in business in an area I didn't want, but I was told, don't go into social work, you'll never make any money. Won't even be able to pay for your school, whatever else reason they told me not to. So I got my degree in business, okay? Hated every minute of it. That cannot be a good vibration. But I did it. Just got out, got married, have a 2.5-year-old. Actually, I got married. Got pregnant later. 2.5 years later, past that, I have a 2-year-old. So here I am. I have this thing that comes up in my throat. I kept getting nauseous. And I'm like, what the heck? I'm driving in the car and I'm like, something making me nauseous, but it only happens if I turn a certain way or do a certain thing. It would make no sense. So all of a sudden I start going, I think there feels like there's something here. So I go to the doctor, send me to a gland doctor. They do a biopsy. Lo and behold, they call me in and they say, Martha, we hate to tell you this, but you've got malignant cancer of the thyroid. Now, best case scenario, you're going to, we're going to give you chemo, we're going to give you radiation, we're going to try to kill this off. We need to do surgery, you're going to have a trachea, you'll lose your voice box, and at best you may or may not have 5 years to live through all of this. I had a big meltdown, obviously. Who's going to raise my daughter? Who's going to do this? My husband. I mean, he's a great guy and all, but, you know, she needs me. This is not right. And you know, all the things that go through your mind. So I had a big meltdown. I mean, it was a trauma. It was huge, right? How do you go on knowing that there is no more? This is it. Well, I was at the grocery store, and one of the things I like to do is read the labels on everything. I don't know why, but I have to know everything that's going in it and trying to figure out, I don't know what I'm trying to figure out, but something. So I'm reading the labels, and I'm just sitting there. I'm so overwhelmed with grief and sadness, because who's going to do this? Who's going to care enough what is going into her body? Who's going to do this? What do I do? So I'm sitting there or standing there, and I feel this tap on my shoulder. And this woman, old woman, says to me, honey, you can either believe you've got it or you cannot. You need to make a choice and make a good one. I had no idea. I'm like, was she reading my mind? Was she I mean, I didn't know what had happened. And then, you know, next thing I know, she's gone, and I'm leaving my cart in this aisle. Baby food, I left everything. That's not like me, because I don't want to get anybody mad at me, but I left everything. And I kept thinking, what was that old woman doing in the baby food aisle? And it didn't dawn on me, but I was so, the point I want to get with this is, I became so infuriated. I was so angry, livid even, that I left everything and I left. I go storming in my house. I probably screeched my tires coming in too. I went in and I'm just yelling, and I'm having this fit of a lifetime. My family is just looking at me like, nobody get near her. She has lost her mind. She's gone loony. And you know what I'm saying? How dare they? How dare they tell me that today is the last day of the rest of my life? How dare they tell me that somebody else is going to raise my kid? How dare they tell me that I was fine yesterday, but now my life is over? Who are they? They God? You know, I got mad, very mad. So I went in the bathroom and I told my husband, I am not having radiation. I'm not going to go in some basement, take some radiation, iodine, something, and stay in a basement for 3 days so I don't poison people. What? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have chemo. I'm not going to lose my hair. And I refuse to be on medication for the rest of my life. Not going to happen. They can kiss it. And he's like, look, we could talk about this. Obviously, he's scared. He's freaking out thinking, okay, she's going to die. She's refusing help. But something in me was so strong. It was so powerful. You think about a warrior that comes out of somebody, or an intensity or a drive. That rush I had that day, I've never had it since. I don't know if I'll ever have it again, but I can tell you that I can feel it to this day when I think about it and bring it. Once I make a decision, when something clicks, I know that I've matched the vibration. Okay? It doesn't have to be the anger, but the thing is I would go in the mirror and I'd just point at myself and I'd say, no, it's not going to happen. I decided that I would let them take it out. I said, fine, you can take it out. You can take out this side where it's at, but you're not doing anything else. And so they went in, we had surgery. They said about an hour and a half things would be okay. Anything over 3 hours and 45 minutes, expect the worst. She's not going to be coming out. She'll have trachea, all of this stuff. Well, 4 hours and almost 45 minutes later, they finally came out. My whole family just knew the worst for me, right? And he comes out and he's like, we just don't understand. The preliminary tests are saying there's no cancer. It's a cold nodule, it has this, but it's not cancer. So we're really sorry. We had to sew her up. It was very extensive. I mean, literally, they had to sew my chin down because they had to take my ligaments out of my neck. So my chin was basically to my neck. And I had to relearn to stretch my ligaments. Well, I didn't care about that. But they said, we're really sorry, because it went behind her throat, which was what was causing my nauseousness. It actually was back behind here in my neck. They had to do all this extensive work, but they couldn't figure out why it was a cancer. So they actually said, we know that this report is wrong, but we can't do anything right now. So we've sewn all back up, did what we could. But in 5 days, when the report comes back, she's going to have to be readmitted, and we're going to have to go in and do everything over. The point is, it's been 15 years. To this day, I don't take medication. You know, what was that? To me, what it is talking about vibration. Now, I don't think everybody should get mad, and I don't think everybody is a negative vibration is good. But when you think about emotions are the root of all physical issues, it's an unresolved, suppressed feeling that over time you suppress and you suppress, which is going inward, that ripple effect in. We're all taught about out, but in. We suppress and we suppress and we suppress, and one day it takes physical form because it can't leave, right? So here we are. I have a physical form of unresolved, unexpressed issues, and it's showing up in my throat chakra, and I'm going to go over those here in a minute too. So it's showing up here in a dense form because the vibrations of everything I had been through in life accumulated. You guys probably don't know this, but I was extremely shy, an extreme introvert. To be standing up here is huge for me. But if I didn't have a voice and I had a trachea and I had all that, I wouldn't be able to do what I do today, which is part of my burning desire to be out helping people, to understand that they have the power within them to shift everything. Everything that you need lies within you. It just has to match that which you desire. So let's talk a little bit about the chakras. Chakras are vibrating within our being. This is yet another element of vibration that's within us. So we have energy centers that are called the chakras. They're always in motion, they're always spinning, and they're being activated at certain times in our life, and they go in 7-year increments. And they start at what is called the root, and it sits right below your tailbone. And I'm going to just run through them really quick. So we've got our root energy center, we have our sacral, we have our solar plexus, we have our heart, we have our throat, we have a third eye, and we have a crown. Now there are other chakras within us, but these are our main ones. And these are the energy centers that are helping us with our inner vibration. And these energy centers, we want our life to be in balance. So if we have these energy centers and they're not in balance, we're going to have issues with our undercurrent, basically. Because we can't see them, they can't be scientifically detected, but yet what can be measured is energy at different frequencies within the body. So we know their existence is there. So the root sits right below your tailbone, and it vibrates to the color red. And when you're dealing with things in your life, like issues with finances, your security, feeling that sense of safety, okay, you're going to look to this energy center, and you're going to look to the color red and the vibration of them as being out of balance. Okay, you might have an excess energy there or an insufficiency in life. So if we have too much energy going on there, you think about the color red, it's going to, you think about the bull with the tarp, right? People running through and waving thing, whatever they call that. Well, that energy with somebody will look at that as passion or anger or, you know, that fiery intensity. But on the opposite side, you could be feeling unsafe, unsecure, you know, that sense of not going to be okay. So you look at two different extremes. So if you think about these energy centers as being centered, you're feeling safe, you're feeling centered, you're feeling secure, right? But life is going to fluctuate. We were all taught that life should be about, let's be in perfect peace, let's be in balance, let's walk through like the Buddha and the Gandhi, and this is enlightenment. To me, true. If you are a spiritual being in your spirit, that is true. But the fact of the matter is, you're here to have a physical experience, and you can't have a physical experience if you are emotionless. So as we are in motion, you're going to find yourself throughout life when things come up, throwing you over into anger maybe, throwing you over into insecurity, because we've had learnings, this vibration, this undercurrent is within us. What matters is being aware that things are affecting you. Every choice, every action, your environment, what you put in your body, what you put your body in what environment, they're all affecting you. This is why we must all make a choice. How do we want to be tomorrow? What do we want to take forward? What do we want to create in a vibration? So these energy centers are meant to be like a pendulum. What's not meant to happen is for them to get stuck over here or to get stuck over here. This is in life where we get stuck and we don't move, right? Here's your wing out of balance. There you go, right? Here's this one. We're not getting very far, right? So the key is recognize these, and we can go more into this when we go in depth in the intensive and when we go through the actual 7-month series of the Dragonfly Effect program. But for now, what I want you to realize is that life is going to move. You want it to move. You don't want to be stuck. But what you want to do is be able to recover. And when we have energy centers that are out of balance, and you're stuck in this quiver mode where you're not feeling anything because you're like numb, that's not good either, right? So what we want to know is that, what is it going to take to get us out of pain and into pleasure? If you always ask yourself, what's it going to take? I'm here, something's not right, doesn't feel right, something's not going right. You ask the question, what could I do today to make this different? And if the answer is nothing, you can still choose to focus on that which you do want and bring the energy of that in, because our goal is to always bring it back to center. Our sacral, it's the second chakra, and it vibrates to the color orange. It's all about joy and having fun and movement, happiness. You think about these energy centers of color. You think about the rising sun. The day is coming with those fire colors. So you think about energy and intensity. You want it to be joyful and playful. Right? The next one is our solar plexus, and it vibrates to the color yellow. And yellow is about joy, right? And happiness and shining. It's a power center. Right? So if you're too much in your power over here, you got your ego going on and attitude. But if it's over here and you've lost your power and you have no courage and you feel like the cowardly lion, right? There's an imbalance. We want to bring it back to center. And like I said, you're going to fluctuate, which is good. We don't need to be perfect. We got to get over the idea that life has to be perfect. No, life needs to be felt. Life needs to be brought back to where you want it. We need to experience this stuff. These are our lessons. This is the stuff that's creating who we are every day, making us the best we can be, giving us all the tools and lessons and learnings and everything we need to aspire to be what we are meant or destined to become in this life. The next energy center is our heart, and it's our pivotal point. Right? People tell you, get out of your head and into your heart. The reason that's important is this is your pivotal center. And nothing in life is going to work for you if your heart's not in it. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's not going to work. Your heart needs to be open, but not so open that you completely drain yourself. Right? And it vibrates to the color green. So you think about your heart center and how much heart disease is out there and all the physical issues that are going on in this energy center. This is the center that we want to spend most of our time. What do we want in life? Who do we want to be? What do we want to love? What's good about us? We want to focus on nurturing ourselves, because this is like the seesaw. You know that base of a seesaw? This is it, right? This is the part of you that is this bridge that joins things in life. Okay, your heart has to be in everything in order for it to function. If it's not, you need to get out because it's draining you and bringing you down. Your next energy center is the throat chakra, and it vibrates to the color blue. Now it could be a turquoise blue, a sky blue. The blue is not really that important, just knowing that it's blue. And if we're blue in life and we're down and we're sad, there's a depression feeling, there's a sadness. Are you over here and you're not speaking your truth? Are you over here, you're being overly critical, abusive with your words? Are you overeating, undereating? What are you swallowing that you shouldn't be? What are you holding back where you shouldn't? Thyroid issues, teeth issues, big issues in this energy center, right? We talked about me and mine. I had a big one. What was I swallowing in life? What was I not expressing? Where was I afraid to stand up and be seen and be heard? Right? What was I not screaming out for? Or what was I screaming out for that I didn't need to? There's an imbalance, basically. You want to be able to bring it back to center, right? Speak your truth. Very important. You have your third eye. It's right here. A lot of people call it the inner mind. This is your connection to your thoughts. If you spend all your time over here in negativity, negative thoughts, that vibration, your legs going out, bringing you back everything you think about, put yourself in check. In your head too much, or are you checking out? You don't want to feel, you don't want to think, you don't want to have anything to do with creating your dreams or your passion. Not connecting your heart to your head and allowing those visions to evolve and come true. Then we have our crown, our spirituality. It's our connection to our higher self, our source. So you have your crown. It's your connection to your source, your higher power. Okay? Very important in life to be, one, rooted with your root chakra, feeling grounded, steady, and secure, and also being connected to your spirit. If you do anything, I would invite you to each day just allow yourself to imagine yourself being tree roots, coming out your feet and connecting you here in your physical experience, what you're here for. But always allow yourself to be connected to your higher self, your source, your God, your spirit, whatever it is, that higher vibration, your spirit. So if you spend your life connected to these two things, so many things are going to balance out and bring such pleasure to you, move you out of all of the pain and move you towards where you want. It's going to help you to ignite your flight. It's going to help you to fly in the direction you choose. It's going to help you to move.